Welcome to my English class, a presentation on main verb and auxiliary verb. I am Devdani Mukherjee. Today I will explain you what is main verb and what is an auxiliary verb. Main verb first try to understand what is a verb. A word that shows an action, state, or an event is called a verb. It is an essential, that means very important part of a sentence, and is known as the soul of language. So it is the main in the English language. Why it is? That's why I segregated into two parts, that is main and auxiliary. So there are also many other kinds of verb. In my next video you will see that, but in these videos, in a very simple way, I make you understand what is a verb. So it is, if anyone asks you what is a verb, you can say that it shows action. Any action, state, or event is called verb, and it is very essential, very important, and it is the main word that we use as verb in this language. Otherwise you cannot express yourself without verb. So there should be action, there should be state or event to explain that action, to give information about state, event, or any actions you want to reveal, or state or event, you need verb. Then it will be clear to for everyone to understand the language properly. So verb is very important. So that's why it is called soul of language. So in our body there is a soul. So similarly, in this English language, verb is the soul of language. Now if you see this chart, there is a main verb and auxiliary. First, in this video I will explain you main verb and auxiliaries. So then auxiliaries have two different parts, primary and modals. So under modals, just for a means to know it initially, I have given this division also, these kinds also. In my next video I will explain this primary and modals separately. So modal, shall, will, should. So these are the familiar words that you use in English language, and these are called the modals. Then primary is divided into to be, to do, to have. Again, to be is divided into 5 parts: am, is, are, was, were. Then to do, does, do, did, 3 parts. Then to have, has, have, had, 3 parts. So in this way we divide different kinds of verb, and we have to study separately, because simultaneously, if you step by step you have to study, otherwise you can't understand, or you cannot use in your language, in communication or writing or verbal English. So for that reason you have to study step by step. All at a glance, you cannot study all of it. Then you will confuse and you cannot use properly in your English language. So today we will study main and auxiliaries. So in what is main? First we have to know clearly what is a main verb. There are so many verbs, but which one is the main verb? Main verb is also another name for main verb is lexical verb. So if you find any, or principal verb, so we call main verb as lexical or principal verb. So principal or lexical, if you find in any grammar book, or they don't confuse, these are all main verb. So these are the synonyms, you can say. So this term refers to the important verb in the sentence. So why it is called main or lexical or principal? Because it is important verb in a sentence. So the one that typically shows the actions. So this main verb or lexical or principal verb is actually doing the action, shows the action or state of being of the subject. Whatever subject is there in any sentence, it is doing the action of that subject. So main verbs can stand alone. It can stand alone. You don't want any help from any other verb. He don't want to take. He single can do the actions or state of being whatever required in a sentence. Or they can be used with a helping verb, also called an auxiliary. So now what is auxiliary? So here I'm just starting the auxiliary also. So this main verb when can stand alone, or they can be used with a helping verb. So when main verb is used with a helping verb, then it is called auxiliary verb. And when main verb is used as stand alone, means singly use, it is single there, no other helping verb is there. So and that verb alone is doing the action or state of being, whatever maybe. So in a sentence, so this, then we call it main verb, no need any help from any other verb. But when main verb needs help, then we won't call it as main, we call that verb as auxiliary verb. So it is an essential part of a sentence and it is known as the soul of language also. Again, I am repeating here. So mind that verb is the soul of language and it is essential and it is an important part of a sentence. If you see this example, main verb, eat, drink. I eat an apple. So I eat an apple. Here eat is using without any help is in this sentence. So that's why eat is main verb. Drink, walk, talk, have, had. I have a pen. Had past form of has and have. Am, is, take. I am a girl. He's a boy. So in this way you can use this state of being and action in a sentence and without any help of other verbs. So that's why it is called main verb. Take, keep, need, try, make, etc. So many are there. So in a simple way, I don't want to, there are so many examples, I don't want to show it so many examples, otherwise you will confuse. So in a very short way, I am just teaching you so that you can understand what is main and what is auxiliary. Are some verbs that can be used as main. So etc. are some verbs that can be used as main verb. So these verbs can be used as main verb. Now auxiliary, again I separate it, and again I am explaining that auxiliary, a verb that cannot stand alone. So auxiliary verb can stand alone, cannot use, you cannot use in a sentence alone. It need another help of another verb. So auxiliary verb helps to modify the meaning of a sentence. To modify the meaning of a sentence. So whatever meaning that sentence carries, a sentence carries that meaning. It describes that meaning. What is the meaning of that sentence? If I say the boy kite, in this way, say you can't understand. If I say the boy flies kite, then this sentence. But here the flies here is the main verb. So without verb you cannot express yourself. So that's why we called it soul of language. Now here primary auxiliary, little bit I'm touching here also. The primary auxiliary be, do, have. The word be can be used as to be, that in that chart I have shown you. So as, am, is, are, was, were. These are the be verb. Am, is, are, was, were. After be, auxiliary two forms of the verb are possible. So after be, auxiliaries two forms of a verb are possible. They are present participle being and past participle been. So been, is, are, am, was, were plus present participle. So present participle, when we use present participle and past participle, we for being we use, and been for past, and is, am, was, were, the plus present participle. So verb one form plus ing form we have to use. So if I say the boy kite, in the you can't understand. If I say the boy is flying a kite, so with is, the present participle is his be verb we use here, and present participle ing form flying, means v verb that is the main verb plus ing form. So v1 plus ing form. So fly can be always, we can use separately also as main verb, but when we are using as auxiliary, then we need another verb. So that's why is here is used, and the subject is singular, so we used is, and if the subject is plural, then we use are in present form. So she can, we need to know what she can do. We are, what we are or are doing. So here she can, we are, she can. So we need to know what she can do. So cannot use alone. We need another verb. Here also, if I use doing, so present participle form, we cannot use as doing in a sentence. We need another verb. So here we is plural, so we are or are doing. So what we are, so what we are doing is the verb we are used. What we need to know what she can do. What we are or what we are or are doing. So here we are, we cannot, we are what. So for that reason we know what we are. So your present participle we are using are doing. If I say she can, so she can, we need to know she can what she can do, she can do. So we need to know that what she can, what we are, that we have to know. So are doing, we are doing whatever may be that work. Here I'm not just highlight any work, just to make you understand the verb form. So doing, so G is here, it is a little bit hide here. So it is doing, doing. Next, little bit I'm touching in this video also. An action verb is a verb that expresses physical or mental action. So action means mental, it may be mental, so always doesn't mean that it will be physical action, mental action also. She hit a home run at the last game. They bought a new house. I just want to sit down and relax. He is throwing the ball. So in this way we are using the action verbs in a sentence. So though it is a main verb and auxiliary verb video, but little bit I'm just touching because here I'm to make you understand verb. This also comes this action verb and state verb, be verb. So that's why I'm just little bit highlight all this. So verbs are words that show an action. Again I'm saying, say seeing, actions is seeing, occurrence, develop, or state of being, exist. To make you understand in different way, again I am just highlighting this, what is verb. So the action, that means if you sing, sing is an action. Then occurrence, that is also action, develop, or state of being, exist. So almost every sentence needs a verb. Every sentence needs a verb. The initial form of a verb or the basic form of a verb is known as its infinitive. Little bit I am touching in next videos I will just show all these other divisions of verb. The form called love, break, and go are all infinitives. Almost all verbs have two other important forms called participles. Little bit I'm just touching all this so that you know these term and the kinds of other kinds of verbs. Thank you.